Welcome to another insightful video from Dr. Chris's Key to the Manager's Mindset. We're focused on building stronger relationships and personal growth. Breaking free from toxic cycles can feel overwhelming, but there is hope. It starts with understanding the patterns holding you back. What if you could identify toxic patterns and replace them with healthy habits? Imagine creating lasting, meaningful connections. This video will guide you every step of the way. We'll dive deep into understanding toxic behaviors and their roots. Most importantly, we'll equip you with actionable steps to break free. You'll learn how to build healthier, more fulfilling relationships. This is about empowering you to create positive change. You'll gain the confidence to set boundaries and communicate effectively. We'll explore the signs of toxic patterns and how to recognize them in your own relationships. You'll gain a deeper understanding of the importance of self-care. Breaking free from toxic cycles requires courage and self-awareness. We'll guide you through the process of setting healthy boundaries. You'll learn how to communicate your needs assertively yet respectfully. Building healthy relationships is an ongoing journey. You'll discover the power of empathy and active listening. Together, we'll create a roadmap for building lasting, loving connections. Toxic cycles are patterns of destructive behavior that poison relationships. They create an environment of negativity, stress, and emotional turmoil. Imagine a relationship where communication is fraught with criticism and blame. Trust erodes. These are hallmarks of toxic cycles. They can manifest in various forms like manipulation, control, and codependency. Each cycle leaves its own mark of damage. Think of a plant deprived of sunlight and water. It withers and struggles to survive. Similarly, toxic cycles suffocate the life out of relationships. They prevent growth, understanding, and genuine connection. It's essential to recognize these patterns early on to protect ourselves and our well-being. These cycles can infect romantic relationships, friendships, family dynamics, and even work environments. The key is to educate ourselves about the signs so we can break free from their grip and cultivate healthier, more fulfilling connections. Toxic cycles often wear a disguise. They can be subtle at first, lurking beneath the surface, but over time their true nature is revealed. Let's shine a light on some common signs of these destructive patterns. Recognizing them is the first step towards breaking free. Excessive criticism is a red flag. It goes beyond constructive feedback and chips away at your self-esteem. Control is another warning sign. It manifests as a need to dictate your choices, limiting your freedom and autonomy. Stonewalling, where communication shuts down, is a form of emotional manipulation. Lack of boundaries is a breeding ground for toxicity. Pay attention to how you feel in your relationships. Do you feel drained, anxious, or constantly on edge? These are signs that something is amiss. We've created a checklist to help you identify potential toxic elements in your relationships. Toxic cycles don't just damage relationships, they take a toll on our mental health. Imagine being constantly bombarded with negativity. Your self-esteem plummets, anxiety becomes a constant companion. The stress of navigating these unhealthy dynamics can be relentless. It impacts your sleep, your energy levels, and your overall well-being. Prolonged exposure to toxic relationships can lead to serious mental health concerns such as depression and anxiety disorders. You deserve to be in relationships that nurture your mental health, not harm it. You have the right to feel safe, respected, and supported. If you recognize yourself in these descriptions, know that you're not alone. Seeking professional help from a therapist or counselor can provide invaluable support. They can help you navigate the complexities of toxic cycles and develop strategies for healing and growth. It's time to take what we've learned and apply it to our own lives. Think of this as a relationship inventory. Grab a journal and find a quiet space where you can reflect honestly. This is about self-discovery, not judgment. Review the checklist we provided earlier. Consider each item carefully. Are there any patterns of toxic behavior present in your relationships? Don't shy away from uncomfortable truths. Acknowledging them is the first step towards healing. Recognizing toxic cycles doesn't mean placing blame, it's about taking ownership of our part in these patterns. This inventory is an ongoing process. Relationships are fluid, and so are the dynamics within them. Make it a habit to check in with yourself regularly. Breaking free from toxic cycles begins with a journey inward. It's about shining a light on our own thoughts, feelings, and behaviors. Self-awareness is the key that unlocks the door to change. It allows us to see our role in these patterns without judgment. Think of self-awareness as a mirror. It reflects back to us our strengths and weaknesses, our patterns and triggers. When we avoid this mirror, we remain blind to the ways in which we might be contributing to toxic dynamics. But when we face it with courage, we empower ourselves to make different choices. Journaling can be a powerful tool for cultivating self-awareness. Set aside some time each day to write down your thoughts and feelings. Reflect on your interactions with others. What triggers a negative reaction within you? What patterns do you notice repeating themselves? Each step towards self-awareness is a step towards breaking free. Toxic patterns often have deep roots. They may stem from childhood experiences, past traumas, or learned behaviors. To truly break free, we need to understand the origins of these patterns. This requires courage, compassion, and a willingness to explore our past. Think of your past experiences as a tapestry. Each thread represents an event, a relationship, a belief that has shaped who you are today. Some threads are bright and vibrant, while others are dark and tangled. By examining these threads, we can begin to understand how they have influenced our present-day behaviors. Therapy or counseling can be invaluable in this process. A skilled therapist can provide a safe and supportive space to explore your past. They can help you identify the root causes of your toxic patterns and develop strategies for healing old wounds. Boundaries are essential for healthy relationships. They are the invisible lines we draw to protect our physical, emotional, and mental well-being. Setting boundaries is not about being selfish or controlling. It's about honoring our own needs and limits. Think of boundaries as a garden fence. The fence protects the delicate flowers within from being trampled. It allows them to thrive in a safe and nurturing environment. Similarly, boundaries protect us from emotional harm. They allow us to engage in relationships from a place of strength and self-respect. Assertive communication is key to setting healthy boundaries. This means expressing your needs and limits clearly and respectfully, without being aggressive or passive. Use I statements to communicate your feelings and take ownership of your needs. Setting boundaries can be challenging, especially if you're used to people-pleasing or avoiding conflict. But remember, you deserve to be treated with respect. Sometimes, despite our best efforts, we find ourselves in toxic relationships that cannot be salvaged. In these cases, detachment may be necessary for our own well-being. Detachment doesn't mean we don't care. It simply means we choose to prioritize our own peace of mind. Think of detachment as a life raft. When we're caught in a rip current, struggling to stay afloat, sometimes the best course of action is to let go and allow the current to carry us to a place of safety. Similarly, detaching from a toxic relationship allows us to find our own emotional equilibrium. Detaching from a toxic relationship doesn't happen overnight. It's a process that takes time, courage, and self-compassion. Start by setting firm boundaries. Limit contact with the toxic individual. Focus on your own well-being. Remember, you are not obligated to remain in any relationship that is causing you harm. Breaking free from toxic cycles is ultimately about recognizing our own worth. It's about understanding that we deserve to be in relationships that uplift and inspire us, not drag us down. It's about believing in our own value, even when others haven't. Think of your self-worth as a garden. When we neglect our garden, it becomes overgrown with weeds, but when we tend to it with care, it flourishes with vibrant blooms. Similarly, when we neglect our self-worth, it withers. But when we nurture it with self-love and acceptance, it blossoms. Start by identifying the negative self-talk that is holding you back. Challenge those limiting beliefs. Surround yourself with people who see your worth and reflect it back to you. Remember, you are worthy of love, respect, and happiness. Building healthy relationships is like constructing a magnificent bridge. It requires a solid foundation. Open communication is that foundation. It's the heartbeat of any thriving connection. Without it, relationships wither and crumble. Imagine trying to navigate a new city without a map or GPS. Communication is the GPS of our relationships. It helps us understand each other's needs, desires, and boundaries. It allows us to navigate challenges together, finding our way back to connection. Active listening is a cornerstone of open communication. It's about truly hearing and understanding what the other person is saying, without judgment or interruption. Practice using I statements to communicate your own needs and feelings. Open communication is a dance of sharing and listening, a delicate balance that fosters intimacy and connection. Emotional intelligence is like a compass that guides us through the complex landscape of our own emotions and those of others. It's about understanding and managing our own feelings, while also being attuned to the emotions of those around us. Imagine a world where we could regulate our emotions with ease, responding to challenges with calmness and understanding. Emotional intelligence empowers us to do just that. It helps us avoid impulsive reactions and instead choose thoughtful responses. Mindfulness is a powerful tool for developing emotional intelligence. It's about paying attention to the present moment without judgment. Empathy allows us to connect with others on a deeper level, fostering understanding and compassion. Trust and respect are the solid ground upon which all healthy relationships are built. They are the foundation that allows us to feel safe, supported, and loved. Trust is like a delicate flower. It takes time and care to blossom. We build trust through consistent actions that demonstrate our reliability and integrity. We keep our promises, we show up for each other, and we communicate honestly and openly. Respect is about valuing the other person for who they are, even if we don't always agree with them. It's about honoring their boundaries, listening to their perspectives, and treating them with kindness and consideration. When we trust and respect each other, we create a safe space for vulnerability. Healthy relationships are not stagnant, they are dynamic and ever-evolving. Mutual growth is the act of tending to the garden of our relationships, nurturing each other's growth and supporting each other's dreams. Think of a relationship as a dance. Both partners need to be in sync, moving together in harmony. When one person grows and evolves, it's important for the other person to support and encourage that growth. Encourage each other's passions and interests. Celebrate each other's successes, no matter how small. Be each other's biggest cheerleaders. Life is full of challenges. It's easy to get bogged down by negativity. But in the tapestry of our relationships, it's essential to focus on the bright, vibrant threads. Celebrating positivity is about choosing to see the good in each other and in our connection. Think of gratitude as a magnifying glass. It amplifies the positive aspects of our lives. Take time each day to appreciate the good things in your relationship. Express your gratitude to your partner, whether it's for a kind gesture, a listening ear, or simply for being in your life. When we focus on the positive, we create an upward spiral of love, appreciation, and joy. Let's talk about Sarah and Mark. They were trapped in a cycle of codependency. Sarah, always the caretaker, put Mark's needs before her own. Mark, reliant on Sarah for his emotional well-being, resisted independence. Therapy helped them identify unhealthy patterns. Sarah rediscovered her passion for painting. Mark explored his interests like woodworking and hiking. They moved from codependency to healthy interdependence. Maria and David's story illustrates the transformative power of forgiveness. Their relationship was marred by infidelity, shattering Maria's trust. They sought guidance from a therapist specializing in infidelity recovery. Slowly over time, healing began. Their story reminds us that forgiveness and reconciliation are possible. Embracing vulnerability, building trust. Building healthy relationships requires vulnerability. It means sharing our authentic selves. Early in my career, I struggled with this. I thought showing vulnerability made me appear weak. However, I witnessed its power firsthand. They avoided conflict, bottling up thoughts and feelings. This hindered progress and created tension. I decided to lead by example. I shared a personal story about failure. My vulnerability created a ripple effect. Team members began opening up. Vulnerability isn't weakness, it's courage. It's the bridge that builds trust. Embrace vulnerability for authentic connection. The importance of regular check-ins. Imagine a beautiful garden. It flourishes with vibrant blooms and lush greenery. Relationships need nurturing to thrive. Regular check-ins are like tending to the garden of your relationships. They ensure you stay connected and attuned to each other. Think of these check-ins as relationship GPS recalibrations. You're charting the course together. Disagreements are inevitable in any relationship. Think of them as passing storms. With the right tools, you can weather these storms and emerge stronger. Forgiveness is the umbrella that shields you from resentment. It's a gift you give yourself, freeing you to move forward. Conflict resolution guides you through the storm. Seek to understand, not to win. Be willing to compromise, apologize, and let go of past grievances. Consistency, the lifeblood of healthy relationships. Imagine planting a garden and then neglecting to water it. The plants would wither and die. Relationships, like gardens, need consistent care and attention to thrive. Consistency is the lifeblood that keeps the connection strong and vibrant. Consistency means showing up for each other day after day, even when it's hard. It's about making time for each other, prioritizing your relationship amidst life's busyness. It's about making small, everyday gestures that demonstrate your love and appreciation. Think of consistency as building a brick wall. Each brick represents a small act of love, a gesture of kindness, a moment of connection. Over time, these small acts build upon each other, creating an unbreakable bond. Remember, consistency isn't about grand gestures, it's about the little things. It's about the good morning texts, the shared cups of coffee, the listening ear after a long day. It's about showing up authentically and lovingly day in and day out. Seeking outside support is not a sign of weakness. It's a sign of strength. It shows that you're committed to nurturing your relationship. Think of a therapist as a relationship guide. Don't hesitate to reach out for support when you need it. Remember, you're not alone on this journey. Reaping the rewards of healthy connection. As we reach the end of our exploration, let's take a moment to reflect on the key takeaways. We've learned that toxic cycles are like weeds in the garden of our relationships. They can choke the life out of our connections, leaving us feeling drained and depleted. But here's the good news. We have the power to create healthier, more fulfilling relationships. It starts with identifying those toxic patterns. Are there signs of control, manipulation, or disrespect in your relationships? Are you constantly feeling drained, anxious, or unheard? Once we've identified these patterns, we can begin the work of breaking free. This requires self-awareness, setting healthy boundaries, and learning to communicate our needs effectively. It might even mean making the difficult decision to detach from relationships that are causing us harm. Building healthy relationships is an ongoing journey, not a destination. It requires consistent effort, open communication, and a willingness to grow both individually and together. But the rewards are immeasurable. Embark on your journey to lasting love. Imagine a life where your relationships are a source of joy, support, and inspiration. Imagine feeling truly seen, heard, and valued by the people you love. This is the power of healthy connection. I invite you to take what you've learned today and put it into practice. Choose one healthy habit you want to cultivate in your relationships. Perhaps it's practicing active listening, setting clearer boundaries, or simply expressing your gratitude more often. Remember, breaking toxic cycles and building healthy relationships takes time and effort. Be patient with yourself and your loved ones. Celebrate small victories along the way, and don't hesitate to seek outside support when you need it. You deserve to experience the joy and fulfillment of healthy, loving relationships. Start today. Your heart will thank you for it. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel for more content on building healthy relationships. Don't forget to hit the notification bell to stay updated with our latest videos. As we close this journey together, remember that every step you take towards healthier connections is a step towards a more fulfilling life. Embrace the small changes, cherish the moments of growth, and hold on to the vision of the love you deserve. We believe in your power to transform your relationships and, ultimately, your life. Until next time, take care and keep nurturing the bonds that bring light into your world.